What's up guys? We're here in White Sands National Monument, getting ready to walk on the nature trail. Big old 1 mile, so watch out. They got signs everywhere telling you, make sure you bring water, it's gonna get hot. So, of course, we didn't bring no water. That's because we don't listen to the rules. The government can't tell us what to do. We also brought this little monster with us, and yep, she's gonna go crazy with all this sand. The sand feels so good between my toes. We got a sign posted here. You can see that the dune has shifted a little bit. The sign is almost completely under the sand now. This gecko or lizard thing perfectly blends in. Look how white it is. Here you can see what I can only assume is snake trails. They're just all over this side of this dune. I can't imagine being a snake out here. It's gotta be super hot. Somebody made a super dope sandcastle village, I guess. You may be asking yourself, where did all of this white sand come from? Millions of years ago, the Permian Sea dried up and left really deep beds of gypsum. Mountains arose and pushed the gypsum up high. Then, when the glaciers started to melt, they started to melt the gypsum and carried it down to this basin. Today, rain and snow is still continuing this process and still getting more gypsum for the gypsum sands at White Sands. A surprising fact about these dunes is there's actually water a few inches below the surface. Gypsum dunes hold their water very well compared to other dune types, and the water actually acts like a glue and helps hold the dunes together. Without this water, the dunes would have blown away farther into the valley. The water is what helps them stay in this part of the basin. When you come down off of the dunes and you get into this hard pack area, it's legit hard. It's almost like sandstone. That's a little tired, going up that big dude. Haley's first attempt. She thinks she's better than I am. She got to where I stopped. Skimboards don't seem to work very well. A decision was made to leave White Sands. It was way too hot. It was like 95 degrees. It felt like I was just drenched in sweat. We both were and the dog wasn't too happy. So we decided to come up to the mountains. We are now in Gila National Forest. And we parked for the night. It's right along a river. We're headed down there now to check it out and hopefully put our feet in the water. It's gonna feel so good after being in the desert for like 2 weeks. Oh, that water feels so good. Nice and cold and crisp and clean. Found ourselves a giant tadpole. I'm just sitting here on this log in the middle of the river. It feels so good. This is why I do this, for these sorts of moments right here. I'm standing here on the edge of this creek, and there's gotta be about 20 or 30 hogs behind me, down there in the water's edge. There's some small little piglets and some huge ones. They don't seem to mind me talking at all. In fact, they haven't really moved since I've been talking. I've never seen wild hogs before. This is pretty nuts. Kinda glad that I'm up here and they're down there on the water's edge though. As you can see, it's gotten a little bit dark here. So that means it's about time for us to get stuff ready to head off to bed for the night. Today's been pretty interesting. We went from really hot in the desert all the way up into the mountains where it's pretty cool. It feels really nice. It's just a really exciting day. And tomorrow's gonna be even more exciting. You better stay tuned for that because there's gonna be, I got high hopes for tomorrow. I got really high hopes. Until then, find your adventure and go outside. A few inches below the surface, gypsum dunes, gypsum